Hi Lewis, I know yesterday you were saying to us you needed some magic, or I think there's a quote saying you said you needed a brain transplant to get on top of this car, but it really seemed to come alive for you in that second stint towards the end there. Was there a point where you did feel comfortable in the race today? No.
There wasn't 1 second, no.
Lewis Hamilton showed clear disappointment following his lackluster performance at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, crossing the line in 7th position in what analysts are describing as his worst Formula One season beginning ever. The legendary champion was noticeably brief during his post-race media session, surprising journalists with his unusually short responses. Hamilton, who joined Ferrari this season after his remarkable tenure with Mercedes, continues to face adaptation challenges with his new team's vehicle. This Saudi Arabian event was his 5th competition with the Italian squad, and the British competitor's dissatisfaction was evident after finishing the race in the same position he started, 7th place. The performance gap between Hamilton and teammate Charles Leclerc is striking. While Leclerc captured Ferrari's first podium finish of the 2025 season by securing 3rd place, Hamilton lagged significantly behind by 31 seconds. This substantial difference raises concerns about Hamilton's capacity to master the Ferrari SF25. When reporters asked if he experienced any moments of comfort with the car during the race, Hamilton's reply was remarkably concise. No, there wasn't 1 second. His brevity continued when questioned about why he struggled while his teammates succeeded, and when asked if he understood the source of his difficulties, he simply responded, no. The entire media interaction reportedly lasted only 32 seconds, a clear indication of his mental state following another disappointing weekend. Throughout the race, Hamilton repeatedly mentioned over team radio that his car was sliding around the fast street circuit as he battled for grip. He later characterized his experience as horrible and not enjoyable at all. I was just sliding around. First stint, massive understeer, car not turning, and then massive dodge. And in the second stint, slightly better balance, but still just no pace. Hamilton elaborated in another brief comment after the race. Pretty bad. What makes this situation particularly puzzling is that Hamilton did experience a breakthrough with Ferrari recently. He won the sprint race in China from pole position, his first victory since joining the team. However, he hasn't been able to replicate that success since. The car performed exceptionally well with his setup for the Chinese Grand Prix sprint race last month, rewarding him with pole position and his only win since joining Ferrari. But adjustments made for the following day's Grand Prix pushed the car outside its optimal performance range, leaving him far from contention for victory. Hamilton's difficulties have drawn commentary from F1 analysts. Sky F1 expert Martin Brundle offered a particularly critical assessment. I struggle to buy into that he doesn't understand the car. We're knocking on the door with May, Brundle remarked. Lewis hasn't gelled with this car. Lewis likes a car in a certain way. It's difficult days. What's a bit odd is all of a sudden he was right there at the end of the race. Brundle expanded his critique by comparing Hamilton's adaptation issues with other drivers who have changed teams or entered F1 recently. It took Ollie Bearman a day here last year. He wasn't relearning a car, Brundle noted. Antonelli has got used to working with Bono at Mercedes. I struggle to buy into that, honestly. We know Lewis is better and faster than that. Something is not working and something is not gelling. The champion's difficulties appear to stem from a fundamental mismatch between his driving approach and the requirements of current F1 vehicles. Hamilton's traditional style, characterized by late firm braking and loading the front tyres, isn't compatible with today's ground effect cars. Technical analysis from the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix showed that Hamilton's minimum speed was lower than Leclerc's in most corners. The difference was especially noticeable in the 5th gear turn 4 to 5 and the extended left-hander at turn 13, where Leclerc maintained 5th gear while Hamilton downshifted to 4th. Another complicating factor is the transition from carbon industry brakes at Mercedes to Brembo brakes at Ferrari. This change, combined with Ferrari's different approach to engine braking, has clearly disrupted Hamilton's finely tuned driving instincts. Perhaps most concerning for Hamilton supporters is his pessimistic outlook for the remainder of the season. When asked about potential improvements, Hamilton painted a bleak picture. "At the moment there is no fix," he stated frankly. "This is how it's going to be for the rest of the year. It's going to be painful." He added, "I don't know how much longer I'll struggle for, but it's definitely painful. Just going to try and improve from week to week." The situation is equally perplexing for Ferrari team principal Fred Vasseur, who attempted to minimize concerns while acknowledging the issues. Vasseur said this after the race. Vasseur remains supportive.
It's anything to report from Lewis's side?
No, I didn't discuss with Lewis that, but it was a bit up and down. It's not that he was always out of the pace, but let me discuss with him first. No, perhaps with the confidence with the car, perhaps with a little bit with himself also, that everything is new.
Emphasizing that Hamilton's disappointment actually demonstrates his competitive spirit. "I will be 2,000% behind him and I will give him support here, and we will start from tomorrow morning to try to find solutions," the Ferrari leader stated. "It's not a transitional time, but for sure he's down, because when you finish the race in 7th and your teammate is on the podium, honestly, I take it as positive that Lewis is down, because if he was happy with this, it wouldn't be normal." For Charles Leclerc, the Saudi Arabian GP presented an entirely different experience. The Monegasque competitor expressed satisfaction with his podium finish, Ferrari's first of the season in a full Grand Prix. "I was very happy with the race today. We maximised absolutely everything. Very proud of what we've done," Leclerc said. "I never expected to finish here. I thought this race was about defending the cars behind." Leclerc's comments highlight the dramatic difference in driver experiences within the same team, with the 26-year-old feeling very at ease with the car, while his decorated teammate struggles. Hamilton's qualifying performance the day before the race was equally concerning. He managed only 7th on the grid, trailing his teammate by more than half a second. Hamilton said this after Saturday's session.
How was that quali and how was the car?
It was challenging as always, qualifying for me. I've been nowhere all weekend. It's 13th, I think, in almost every session. So honestly, I feel grateful to have got to Q3 and P7. Not spectacular last lap.
008 to 0030. When questioned about the issue, Hamilton attributed the problem to himself rather than the vehicle. "Ultimately, I'm lacking a lot of pace," he admitted. "It's just me not gelling with the car at the moment." This pattern has become increasingly familiar for Hamilton since his victory in the China sprint race. In Saudi Arabia, while he was happier with the car in qualifying compared to practice, it remained far from optimal. His qualifying session displayed moments of promise that quickly faded. Hamilton outpaced Leclerc in Q1, but largely because his teammate didn't improve on his final attempt. By Q2, Hamilton was 0.236 seconds behind Leclerc and barely advanced to the top 10, edging out Williams driver Alex Albon by just 0.007 seconds. The final disappointment came in Q3 when Hamilton was a tenth slower than his Q2 time, while Leclerc improved by 0.2. For a driver of Hamilton's caliber, with 7 world championships and numerous records, this level of struggle is unprecedented. He currently ranks 7th in the Drivers' Championship with 33 points, trailing leader Oscar Piastri by 68 points and sitting 17 points behind teammate Leclerc.